Welcome to Life in the Matrix, and today I am visiting my favorite place here in Singapore. It's in the north part of Singapore, and it is called Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. This one, and it's maintained by National Parks of Singapore, and this is where I have been filming crocodiles and water monitor lizards, all kinds of different kinds of snakes and birds, spiders, you name it, and I've been posting them on my vlog here also in shorts. So that there are two entrances to get here. I will put up the details of how you can get here from any other point in Singapore. I'll put that in the descriptions below. And well, there are two entrances to get into the Sungei Buloh wetlands area. Now, the first one is here, and this is called the visitor center. I normally don't come on this visitor center area. It's kind of newly developed. It's pretty good, but I generally tend to be here in the tidal ponds where all the crocodiles and the water monitor lizards and all the snakes hang out. So I go directly to the wetland center, which is this one. So that is the second entrance. Now, entrance one, where I'm here, goes all the way on the coastal walk. It's about 2 kilometers, and then you get to wetland center. So it's all connected, and I will show you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and hopefully you'll get to see some wildlife as well. Join me, your host Anup, your tour guide, on this beautiful day here at Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. Beautiful in the sense it's nature, it's quiet, there's animals around. I wish it was a sunny day, which is usually a good time to visit. A little dark and murky at this point because it's overcast skies. Tough to spot wildlife sometimes in this climate. But I'm just walking in towards the visitor center here. That tree, if you can see, has the weaver birds' nests. Lots of weaver birds there. Take you on a little walk. So there are signs everywhere, so you'd never get lost. That's the way to the visitor center and the mangroves gallery, and the coastal trail that connects to the second entrance, which leads directly to the wetland reserve where I normally hang out. These are all tidal pools. They come in from the sea. So this is like a marshland, wetlands reserve as it is called. A nice little bumblebee. Yeah, looking for honey. Walking towards the visitor center. So what we have here in this reserve are estuarian crocodiles or saltwater crocodiles. They're really big. Sometimes in the past they used to come in here, so they kind of put those metal fences there to stop the crocs from coming in from the sea, because this is all connected to the sea, the Straits of Johor, which bifurcates Singapore from Malaysia, and I'll show you that as well on this walk. Okay, the visitor center entrance. Opening hours 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's for the entire complex. So as you walk in, you have this huge map and some details, which I already showed you. You are here. I'm now at the visitor center here, and I'll be doing a coastal trail all the way here to Eagle Point. And it's called Eagle Point because we've got the Malayan fish eagles. Some of them are resident in this area, massive birds. And then go past this in the coastal trail. There's a little bridge to cross over here. Then I get across. There's a plaza here, and that'll connect me to the wetland center. and I'll take you here. I'll show you the map again when I get there. Here's some fun facts about waders. Migratory shorebirds. So what are waders? What kind of fun facts? Very nice, nicely done. Some details about the shorebirds that you get here. Yeah, over 280 bird species recorded here since 1988. 140 species are migratory birds, and I think I've mentioned this before, or maybe not. Some of these fly all the way from Siberia, like this one, common green shank. They go flying all the way from Siberia all the way to Australia. They make a stop over here in Singapore, and some of them stay back. This one comes from Mongolia and the Russian Far East and China, the common red shank, and the Pacific golden plover. Again, North Central East Siberia, West Alaska, and come all the way down to Southeast Asia and Australia. They do some serious flying. They come all the way here, they fly all the way back. Cute little birds. So as you come into the visitor center, you've got a little display area. Gives you a few more details about the map, and you can get some more information from the NParks staff over here if you need any information. There's some artwork on display made of driftwood and things like that. This is the beginning of the coastal walk. There's restrooms, very nicely done. Comfort rooms, as they call it in the Philippines. CR. Toilets. Name them anything, but they're here, along with vending machines and stuff. The mangroves gallery, I'm not going in there. It's just to give you information of what mangroves look like. Bunch of pretty orchids. And this is the visitor complex. Very few people on this long weekend. This is a Deepavali weekend. It's holiday Saturday, Sunday and Monday, which is Deepavali. No crowds. I like it. I think everyone's gone to Malaysia for the weekend. Not me. I prefer to be here in the wetlands with no people and more animals. Sounds good, eh? I love walking here. All I hear are birds and insects. Hardly any mosquitoes. None at this point. Okay, this is the coastal trail, and the reason it's called a coastal trail is because it's on the coast, obviously. Right. Okay, now that is a World War II memorial. In fact, that's where the Japanese, one of the places that the Japanese came across from Malaysia during the Second World War, and they landed there and met the Australian force that was defending Singapore up here. They managed to, I guess, defeat them and come across, and Singapore was under Japanese occupation for many years. So this is one of the landing areas right there in those marshes that they came ashore. A big splash of fish. There's schools of fish here, plenty of them. So they have these observation decks, pods as they call them, very popular with TikTokers. They come here and do their dance routines and whatever. Encourage them not to do so, because this is, after all, a wildlife reserve. But these days it's all about YouTube and TikTok, I guess, and Instagram Reels or whatever. Here's some people up there. Going to avoid that. It's called the mid canopy walk. So this is like a wooden bridge with rope. This is to observe the canopy floor. Way up in the canopy, very difficult to see, is the eagle's nest. There's a pair of resident Malayan fish eagle, the white-bellied fish eagle that make their home here. And it's wonderful to watch them dive into the sea and catch fish and fly back to the nest to feed their young, and I've seen that also quite a few times. Continuing on the coastal walk, there's some renovation going on over here, which will be open hopefully soon, maybe by the end of this year. So this is the coastal walk, and it continues, and this is the coastal trail. Let's see. So I started from here, and I am now here, and I'll walk along the coast to get to the wetland center. Follow me. The tide is low, otherwise you'll have water all the way here, right up to there. And high tide is also a good time to see the crocodiles as they come swimming in. Low tide, it's a little difficult because they're a little far away, closer to the water, and sometimes in the middle of the straits, the Johor Straits. These stakes are really to prevent people from coming across from there. That is Malaysia. This is the Straits of Johor, the narrow piece of narrow thin strip of water that divides Malaysia and Singapore. All the buildings you see are on the Johor side. That's Johor city in Malaysia. So I'm on the Singapore side. Right across that thin strip of water is Malaysia, and those right in the middle, you see some floating platforms and floating huts. That's like the border between Malaysia and Singapore. Those are called kelongs, which are fish farms, and they're on the Singapore side. People on the trails today, very light. Can get crowded some weekends. The trails are maintained well. This was recently expanded. There was just this portion here before, and now they've added this little boardwalk and a fence here to prevent people from going onto the mud flats over there. And those are the mangrove trees, the mangrove roots. So I'll show more of that when I get to the wetland center. It's a nice ecosystem here. The mangroves. Again, during high tide, you'll have pools of water there. This is a very interesting place because it shows that Singapore has a lot of forested areas as well. I know people come to Singapore for its tourist attractions, tall, glitzy, beautiful buildings, everything's well organized and clean, lots of things to do for fun, good food, great nightlife, all of those things. They also come to see the Singapore Zoo and many other public attractions, I guess, and of course shopping. That's number one reason why most people come here to Singapore anyways, at least from South Asia and Southeast Asia. Looking at the mangrove roots here. So most people don't know that this tiny city state actually has a bunch of forest areas. in different locations throughout the country. This one is at the northernmost end, which borders Malaysia, as I just mentioned. All I hear are cicadas. Feels like summer, and it's October, getting towards the end of October, second part of it. Exposed roots of the mangrove trees, and I'm still on a coastal trail. Wonderful bird sounds. There are signs everywhere. I'm walking towards the wetland center, entrance number 2 for Sungei Buloh. This is all the new portions. It just used to be a trail about this wide before, and the crowd started coming in, and it took about a year to renovate this whole place, make it more user-friendly for humans. This is the bridge that connects towards the wetland center on the coastal walk. The tide is really low. There are sometimes chances of seeing crocodiles in that mud bank area there, but you need more water for that, for them to swim in. This is too shallow. Schools of fish. Again, looking towards Malaysia there. And there is a crocodile. Kind of barely see. Right there in the middle of your screen. Just a snout outside. It's a juvenile crocodile. I've seen some really big ones here. There it is, a juvenile saltwater crocodile. Another pod, an observation deck. It just leads to the other side of the coastal walk. I'm going towards the wetland center, and I'll end the video there. Part 2 will hopefully have more animals and on the wetland center side. This is the plaza where the coastal walk ends and the wetland reserves begins. And let me show you on the map before I sign off. Thank you for being with me on this journey. Started from here along the coastal trail, Kingfisher Pod. That's where we saw the crocodile, the juvenile crocodile on this bridge. And then I came over here, and you are here. This is the wetland center. I'll be going in there, and I will make part 2. And there's a 2-kilometer trail over here. There used to be lots of other trails before, but they're all closed now for conservation purposes. Only the yellow trail is available. That's about 2 kilometers. Lots of snakes and lots of crocodiles and water monitor lizards that I can bring to you in the next episode. Thank you for joining me on this first episode. It's a longish one. If you have made this journey with me all this time, I thank you really very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I post a new video. Part 2 should be in the next couple of next couple of days after this one. And I hope to bring you more of the wildlife and nature around here. And this is the second entrance called the Neo Teo, or the wetland center entrance. Right there. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for joining me once again. Sign off here at the plaza. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, wherever you are. Ciao.